Hard as Hardos, we're back, baby. The Luka Doncic episode 77. Spinny, I know we usually bullshit around here for a while. I think we need to just get into it, man. It's been 2 weeks. What do you think? All right, Spinny. I think we have to start with something I did not tell you about, but I think you know what that means. Man, it's been about a month since we caught up with you about how the season's going, man. Why don't you tell us what's been
Oh,
going on in the last month of the volleyball season? How things been going?
things have been good. I can't remember what was the last thing we talked about?
It's been that long, that's what I'm
Um,
saying.
I know.
I
Well,
don't know if we
we
mentioned you had ranked wins in
we
there.
had two ranked wins. Uh, Mil, geez, words are hard. Cornell, who was ranked 14th when we played them, and Gustavus ranked 16th when we played them. Couple of good ranked wins. Um, had some losses. Had a weekend, three straight L's on a weekend. That was tough. Knocked us down a little bit. But then we 3-0'd a team, St. Ben's, that 3-0'd us earlier. So that was a
Little
nice
revenge
win.
game.
Little revenge game. Up to 33rd in the Massey rankings currently. So we're kind of sitting
Okay.
at that range where we
Tell
only have,
tell tell our listeners what that means. What are those rankings?
yeah, these rankings are just the D3 volleyball rankings throughout the country. Obviously, there's a top 25 list, but then this rankings does like every single team in the whole country. So it's just kind of like a good placement of
Makes sense.
where people think you are. Um, And obviously, there's 64 teams that make the NCAA tournament. There's a lot of automatic bids, obviously, but the higher you can be in this rankings list, if you do not get an automatic bid, the better the chances of you getting one of those at-large bids to the tournament, which is obviously the goal. Four matches left for us, so
Okay. You're
three
getting
three
down there.
three conference matches that'll be big, especially against Eau Claire. That'll seed us for the conference tournament. And then, depending on where we place in the conference tournament, we'll have some work to do. You pretty much have to get in the top four of the WIAC to be considered. So we'll need to win at least,
Semifinals at least.
yes. So we'll need to at least win one conference tournament game to seal that up. So that's the goal, I guess. At least do that, and then see what happens from there. Yeah. So I guess that's what's on our mind. We got number two ranked Oshkosh this week, 26-0. We play them on
Number
Friday at
two?
our number two in the
It,
country.
Oshkosh is 26-0, and they're not number one in the country.
Yes, Juniata was the national champion from last year, and they are 19-0. They are technically
That
still
makes sense.
number one, even though in these Massey ratings, Oshkosh is number one. I think Oshkosh is the best team. Obviously, a little whack bias there, but yeah. So we have them at home for Parents' Night on Friday. So just working hard this week, trying to do our best to give them a run for their money, see what we can do.
Yes, sir. We love it. Backtrack a little bit though. Is every team make your conference tournament, or how does your
No, six teams make the tournament, I
six?
believe.
Okay,
It's either five or six, and it's either if it's six, it's NFL style. Obviously, top two
top two
teams get a
buys. Yeah,
bye. If it's five, it's like old baseball style where the 4-5 play each other. Winner of that plays the one, and then
the
the two
one.
three play each
Yeah,
other. I can't remember. I should know that obviously, but I can't remember right now which one of those it is. I think it's six though, NFL style.
that makes sense. All right. Best of luck, man. Next time we check in. I better hear that you went 4-0 in those games. Even Oshkosh, I want to see that first L on their board there. They got to be
That would be a
26 and
wild one
1.
for us.
All right.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I can't wait to catch up. Hopefully, with some exciting news later on.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Headlines first to start the Luka Doncic episode. We're going to start with the JT contract. Jonathan Taylor, he finally got paid. This happened a while ago, obviously, but we have not discussed this on the pod. 3 years, $42 million with 26.5 guaranteed. Spinny, what are your initial thoughts about this deal?
I just don't get why, if this was the deal, it didn't get done before the year, I guess, necessarily. Like,
Exactly.
3 years, 8.5 mil for a guy. Is Taylor 25? I want to say
24 maybe even.
25, 24 or 25. 3-year deal, that still puts him at the 27, 28 range when running backs are still amazing. So, like, you're paying him for his prime essentially right now.
Right.
With how young Taylor started, it really was a good deal for the Colts. I'm just surprised that Taylor would like hold out and do all this stuff just to take a deal that I still think favors the Colts.
So you do think this is the offer the Colts were given the whole time?
I mean, maybe not. Maybe they weren't. Maybe they were offering him less, and maybe that's why. But I just have a hard time believing that this is the Colts like top offer. But maybe it is. It's Jim Irsay. You
Right.
never know. He's kind of wild.
Right.
So
I also find it weird that there's even more extensive drama than that. It's not that they just couldn't agree to an extension. He asked out. He said
yeah,
the relationship was beyond repair. He requested a trade. They said that they would maybe actually um, accept that trade request. So I don't know. It's weird. And then you factor in the fact that Zach Moss in his replacement the first 4 games was absolutely balling out. So it's like I don't know. It's like almost like you should have just maybe traded him. But obviously, this is an elite running back, and like you said, they're going to get him for the prime of his career here, and to pair him alongside their rookie quarterback Anthony Richardson. I'm assuming that was the reason why.
yeah. Now they just need a receiver who can
Do anything?
run faster than a 4.9 on the team.
Yeah,
No, I shouldn't
Pittman.
say that. Michael Pittman's a good receiver, but he's a good 2 or a 3. I
Right.
just think him as the 1 is kind of a stretch at this point with what he's shown
Yeah.
us.
No shot. He's a one. That's for damn sure. WNBA Finals. Spinning. Your Liberty man. They stayed alive last night. They won Game 3, 87-73. Game 4 is on Wednesday. Have you been able to tune in for these games? I honestly have not. They're at the worst times, man. They're at all these key NFL games, or they're at the same time as an MLB playoff game. It's just there's too much overlap for me to be able to tune in so far.
Well, here's the thing. I don't understand TV ratings wise. Why are we putting this game at 2 p.m. on a
That
Sunday
too.
afternoon?
That too.
Absolutely wild. I checked out the second half of this game after the Vikes game was over, but I had it on my laptop after I got home with the NFL on the TVs. But I just was surprised. It's like it just seems like the worst marketing idea of all time. Is putting
Literally.
it at the same time as all the NFL games. Uh, the Liberty just shot efficiently in this game. Basically 15 to 20% better field goal percentage and 3-point percentage. So just hitting their shots.
Which they were not doing in the first 2 games,
Correct.
obviously. Especially in that blowout. Game 4, man. You think they're gonna be able
Asia,
to come
Asia
back from that
Wilson
2-0?
Asia Wilson also 4 for 16 in game 3. Not a
Yeah, I was
very
gonna say.
impressive
Yeah.
performance from her, obviously. But yeah, I hope they tie it up here 2-2. I want to see the best series I can. This is obviously the 2 best teams in
Right.
the WNBA, so let's see them go at it.
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure I go out of my way to watch these last 2 games. That's for sure. MLB playoffs. They've been going on. Our Twins, they fell. They fell to the Astros. I mean, I feel like that was kind of expected, right? Um, let's start with the ALCS and NLCS though, since those are obviously going on right now. We had the ALCS start yesterday. It's continuing now. Spinny, while I'm talking, you should give us a live score update. But we have the Rangers taking
5-3
102.
Rangers bottom 7 currently.
Really? Okay,
Yep.
so Rangers are looking to go up 2-0 on the road. That's
Against the
incredible, man.
Stros.
And then then they have 3 games. Isn't it 2-3-2 in the MLB?
Not 100. but I
I'm pretty
think you're
sure
right.
that's how it is too. So the fact that, which is so dumb, by the way, like the fact that you only need to steal one road game, and then you'll have
Yeah.
three of the first two, and then you have three straight home games. Like I find that so dumb. It needs to be the 2-2, 1-1-1, like the NBA. That's for sure. And the NLCS is starting tonight. That's Diamondbacks versus Phillies. The Diamondbacks swept the Dodgers, man. What'd you think about that one?
Wild. I mean,
And
should we
then the
be
Braves going down
surprised?
too?
Should we be surprised about the Dodgers though? It's what they do.
No, this is
Only
what they
one
do.
NLCS in the last 4 years. They love winning 100 games and not making the CS. Classic. I the Braves obviously we both had winning the World Series, so I can't
Yep.
say anything but surprised there. But the Phillies balled. I got to give them credit. Bryce Harper looks like a dog, man. Like as much as this guy's got hate and been so up and down and
From me too.
whatever, and from me, he's a dog. He's an absolute dog. So credit
Yeah,
where credit is due. And the Braves underperformed really,
they did.
especially the big four. So
And
that
the
was just
pitching. Pitching was
yeah,
not good. Freed struggled. Strider wasn't his best. Wasn't on his A game. Yeah, that was really surprising to me. Other series, I mean, Orioles, they got swept. It was a little surprising to see them get swept by the Rangers, but neither of us expected them to do anything. They're just too young and too inexperienced. Twins, let's talk about our Twins a little bit. Season's a W, though, right? I mean, we won 3 playoff games.
yeah. It was a good performance by the
We
squad.
lost to a team I feel like, and obviously most people feel like, are very clearly better than us. So it's like,
Yeah,
we didn't choke. We lost to a team we definitely should have lost to. I accept it. I take it.
agreed. I would have liked to see us win one more game, one of those home games. Obviously, that would have been fun.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
but other than that, understandable. I'm gonna miss Sonny Gray. I don't think there's a good chance he's coming back.
I think
So,
he's out too. Yeah.
um, which is sad. I would definitely have him back. I think he performed well this year.
What do you think we do in the offseason? Or what do you want us to do, I guess is the better question.
Get us another pitcher again. If we're losing Sonny Gray, I want another one. Let's load up. We've seen what
Agree.
it can do
We got to
in the
go for a batter
playoffs.
too as well.
Let's just stick with it. Yeah, you're probably right. Unless, I mean, seems to me they're pretty confident in Buxton playing center field again. So maybe we'll get some upside out of that. Who knows?
Just read my headline, man. Just read my headline.
Well,
Why?
that's what your headline was about.
Why? No, it's not, but why? It works for that too. Gosh, it's so annoying to me. I must say, before we jump ship talk the NFL here, I must say, I picked the Dimebacks and the Rangers as my sleeper teams this year. They're still in it.
True.
They're
They
still in
are
it.
still in it.
What do you think, man? Rangers, Astros. I know it started, but I'm not gonna lie. I was doubling down on that one and taking the Astros. I'll say it now. So it's not
Yeah,
looking good for me.
I would have said Astros going in to this game,
Right.
but obviously not looking too hot. I'm gonna take the Phillies too.
Yeah. It's tough. I'm definitely cheering for the Dimebacks. Just screw
100%.
all Philadelphia teams, and that'd
Except
just be cool
Villanova.
to
Yeah,
see
you're
that
right.
little run. Oh my god, especially Villanova.
No,
Especially Villanova. Yeah,
no,
absolutely.
they're the
No, but I
G's
gotta
of
I
all
gotta take the
Philadelphia.
Phillies, man. They're too good in the playoffs. They got the experience. They made the run last year, the World Series, so they know what they're doing.
Yeah, true.
All right, let's talk Week 6 now, Spinny. This week, y'all, we're gonna focus on the best and worst of Week 6. It was kind of a weird week, I thought. So, Spinny, let's start with the wins, huh? You're gonna take the best. I'm gonna focus on the worst. Tell me what you thought was the best win from the weekend. There was a couple of them that stood out.
Couple of good ones. Honorable mention to the Browns, giving them a little bit of a knock though because San Francisco's half of their skill players were out throughout this game. But their defense is unbelievable, and I think that's got to be noted. But the winner of the best win, right? Best win? That's what I'm doing. Best win of the week is the New York Jets. I think that beating the Eagles in a fashion like that is very good. And Jalen Hurts had a bad game. He did not look
He
awesome. Way too many turnovers, obviously. Uh, Zach Wilson, again, not the guy, still looked mid. The defense really carried this team, though, and I think the Jets defense is unbelievable. Also, biggest win because Aaron Rodgers is throwing passes. Did we see this morning? Aaron
He
Rodgers is
is.
throwing passes a month post Achilles. That's a wild one. So
So that
who knows if the
they say
Jets sneak
throwing
out a play?
passes. They say throwing passes. They mean like I'm taking some steps back and actually throwing it. I'm not
He
just
was
standing there and
standing
throwing
on the
catch.
field throwing passes. I don't know. He wasn't like
Okay.
doing anything crazy.
Right, right, right.
But who knows? If the Jets sneak out a little playoff situation, maybe Rodgers
3-3.
sneaky comeback. Yeah, 3-3. They've done just enough. These next few weeks will really show for the Jets. They have the Giants next week, so that should be a nice win. But then we go Chargers, Raiders, Bills, Dolphins, Falcons, Texans, Dolphins.
Okay.
That's a hard 7 game stretch there. So I think they look going 4-3 into that. But if they can go 4-3 again in that 7 game stretch, we're coming out 8-6. And then we got Commanders, Browns, Patriots to end the year at 8-6. You go 2-1 at those. That's 10-7. That puts you right in the making the playoffs conversation for the Jets. So we'll see.
That'd be wild.
I'm obviously still skeptical that Zach Wilson is not going to screw up 3 of those games by being Zach Wilson.
Yeah. No, you're
Biggest
right.
win of
You
the
are
week,
right.
though, was the New York Jets.
And before I talk about the worst win, I might as well mention my worst loss because that is exactly what I wrote down. Flip side of things, the Eagles losing to a Zach Wilson-led team, and not to mention, you didn't even mention the fact that their Jets defense is elite. Their top 2 corners weren't playing in the game. The entire
No,
game, Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed did not play. They did not play in this game, and you can't get down the field. You can't throw down the field on the Jets without their best 2 corners. Like, you're the Eagles. You have Devontae Smith. You have Dallas Goedert. You have A.J. Brown. You have DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. You have Jalen Hurts, who almost won MVP last year. Like, this is I know it's in New York, but there was no reason for the Eagles to lose that game. 0 reason whatsoever. So they were my worst loss, too, honestly. But the worst win, Spinny, this is where the headline comes in.
why?
You know what that means? Do you know what why means? Why? Why are we winning the game? We, the Vikings. Oh man, in the battle of the 1-4 teams, we could have been 1-5 and maybe potentially winning the race for Caleb Williams, but then we win. Must say though, it did not help that Justin Fields got hurt in that game because obviously D2 quarterback, Bajent, whatever the hell his name is, he was not going to beat us. Obviously, he did score and lead them down the field again, so he actually did almost pull it off, but I was never worried as a fan. Like, I knew we were
See,
going to win the whole
I
time.
was slightly, with how Fields was playing, I was a little slightly more worried when the backup came in, actually, because I feel like it's the most
Okay,
classic thing ever for the Vikes to lose to the backup
that's
quarterback, which
fair.
we've done
That's a good point.
multiple times in the
That's
division
a
in the
good point,
last
yeah.
2 years, where we'll get just smoked by a backup quarterback. So that was a little scary for me, but we pulled it off. And here's the thing I will say. The Niners looked more human last week, and there's a big possibility we
That
get
I
no
did.
Debo and no Christian McCaffrey again. And if that's the case, and we can pull off a sneaky situation at home against the Niners, we're 3-4 heading into Packers, Falcons, Saints, Broncos, Bears.
Oof. There's some hope then,
So
is what you're saying.
So 1 game under 500, and man, I really think it's pretty easy for us to go 3-2 in those games, potentially 4-1. But even if we go 3-2 in those games, that puts us at 6-6 heading into the final stretch of the season there. So the final 5 games of the season at 6-6, which for us is Raiders, Bengals, Lions, Packers, Lions. So again, A lot of division games left. We're 1-0. Still haven't lost a division game. So I think surprisingly, I think there might be a little bit of hope for us, actually.
If we win the Niners game, yeah, there is. That would be crazy to say. Oh my gosh. Going from
Best.
tank
Go ahead.
going from tank for Caleb to Super Bowl bound in a span of 3 weeks, because the Vikings fans, if they beat the Niners, that's what
Yeah.
we're gonna be saying. All
We're
right, we're
going to
going
get
to Super Bowl now.
overreaction nation
Yeah,
if that happens,
exactly,
for sure.
exactly.
Best loss of the week was the opposite of that game again, the Chicago Bears.
Because
Man, I think I'm
now
wrong
they
on
stay
Justin
in the
Fields,
race.
man.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wait, what did you
man,
just say? You want to
I
repeat that?
know. No,
You
I
want to
think
repeat that?
you heard it enough the first time. Uh,
Let's
and they
go.
might have messed up his trade value too. They definitely were getting a first round pick for him before the season. They definitely could have done that, but in the real tank business, especially with Carolina's pick, who is also trash, we're looking at a Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison combination in Chicago at that point, and then I'm hating my life as a Vikings fan. Number one, but so I think that was a good loss for Chicago, keeping them in the race for a top pick with their own pick. Not to mention the Panthers losing again, so they right
Who's the
now
worst
have the
team?
number one pick.
They're the worst team. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Panthers are so bad, which is crazy. They had a 14-0 lead in that game versus the Dolphins, which is
that was
actually
immediately
unreal.
gone in like
Yeah,
4.5 minutes.
outscored 42-7 the rest of the game from that point
Yep.
on. Just
Yeah,
crazy.
Dolphins are
Oh my
unbelievable.
gosh. I do want to mention another shout out though. Worst win would be my guillotine league squad. Getting it done, advancing another week. It was pretty bleak, fellas. I thought I was out. I thought I was out. Josh Allen went into the fourth quarter like 3 fantasy points, man. And so did Saquon. I had like 6 points combined from those two. I knew Saquon wasn't going to do anything because the Giants are just terrible and the Bills D is pretty good. But Josh Allen, man, 3 points. Luckily, they both popped off for about 10 points in the fourth quarter alone, 20 extra points. That got me through. CMC, though, is hurt. He's on my team. Higgins is just terrible, apparently. T. Higgins just sucks now. So, yeah, it was looking pretty terrible. That's a terrible win by me, but we take them, right? We take them when we can get them. Sorry, I just
We
had
want
to
to
say
talk
that.
about the boy who cried wolf here. This is the boy who cried chop. This man be crying all day about we
Yes. There's my
be
one opposite jink there, okay? I won't do it again, Spin. I'm
the
sorry.
boy who cried chop. That should be
I had
your
to.
headline
I had
today.
to. I had to. You get it. You get one per year. You get the
Oh
reverse jinx
yeah.
one per year.
Sure,
So
sure you do.
some other terrible stuff, man. I'm just gonna keep focusing on the terrible stuff from this week. The Chiefs, yes, they won, but that was in consideration for worst win. Yeah, you need to win. You need to score more than 19 points against that defense. The worst defense in terms of points allowed per game in the NFL this year is the Broncos, and you only scored 19 points against them, the lowest out of any team so far this season. You
Division
got Pat
race.
Mahomes.
I give him a little bit of a break.
Right. I get that argument.
Division game, I mean, sorry.
Still though. London, yes, the game I think finished fine, but to me, all the international games have been just terrible so far in terms of quality of game. They're just sloppy. They're always sloppy over there. I don't get it. Do you disagree?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this game was too sloppy. I just think this game was a two big physical teams playing each other, and just that's the kind of game you
That
get.
that's fair. Yeah, that is how it goes sometimes.
Ravens
What is
Titans
a
especially.
right? How about you? You have
Well,
any other shout outs from the week? Otherwise, we will jump.
CJ Stroud again, and that's a good little segue here for what we're going to talk about next. But this man looks real good. Might be the first truly good Ohio State quarterback we're looking at.
I totally agree. And you're right. That is the perfect segue because now we're going to talk about the NFL awards. Do a little NFL awards tracker. Tell y'all who we think is winning this award or all of these awards if the season were to end today. So, Spinny, right now, Pat Mahomes leads the MVP odds at plus 350, Tua plus 500, Josh Allen plus 600. Right now, I'm taking Tua. Believe it or not, we all know this is a QB award, right? So it's obviously going to be a QB to win this. But his team's tied for the best record in the NFL, 5-1. He leads the NFL in pass yards. He's tied for touchdowns. He leads the league in QB rate, and he's second in completion percentage. So top two in all the main categories. He's my MVP if the season were to end today.
Couple dark horses for me. I agree. I'm taking Tua. Couple of dark horses for me whose teams could improve, especially if there's an injury to one of these top guys. Trevor Lawrence, my guy from before the year, still taking the Jags to win after win, but also a division rival of our squad, the Lions quarterback, Jared Goff, definitely is in the top 10. He's tied with Lawrence plus 1,900 for this award. And I think if the Lions keep winning, it definitely could be something in consideration, which is wild. Jared Goff, very wild career. Really good, then really good team. People
Makes
thought he
no
was,
sense.
well, first crappy, then good, then crappy again, and people just thought his team was good. Then so crappy he was added in a deal with multiple first-round picks, quarterback swap for Stafford, then good again, then people think he's overrated, and now he's back to good. Crazy arc for Jared Goff.
Plus, I want to shout out Bill Simmons. No, actually, it was Ryan Russillo. Sorry. He looked into the QBs and just the history of it, and if there's been any QBs that struggled and then all of a sudden had this resurgence on a different team, and it's pretty bleak, man. History will tell you that when you're struggling in one place, you're probably going to keep struggling. So the fact that he is bouncing back like this, and even in that conversation, in the top 10 conversation for MVP, is historically crazy. So
we're not going to count Alex Smith in that conversation because that was the one guy I thought I kind of related
he
this
fits that
to.
mold too. Yeah.
Early success with San Francisco, then they got tired of him, got benched, then goes to KC and makes the playoffs multiple years.
Yeah. No, he falls under that too. Do you finally agree with me though that CMC is the MVP over Brock Purdy on that team? Because I feel like that's what that game
No,
showed us.
no, I do not, and neither does DraftKings.
I know the
Brock,
odds still favor
Brock
Purdy, but I'm just saying.
Purdy plus 1,000, Christian McCaffrey plus 2,400. So no, I don't agree. No, I'm kidding. I do agree. I think
You do
CMC.
actually?
Oh, come on.
Okay. Yeah.
Purdy. Purdy is allowed to have bad games. He's not supposed to be this perfect quarterback, but you can
For sure.
definitely see a difference with McCaffrey out and with Debo out when he's not getting. And it's not necessarily with Debo even throwing to him that much. It's the open looks that Ayuk gets and the other receivers get with Debo out there, and McCaffrey obviously is the main driving factor of the offense. So you definitely do see Purdy's limitations come out a little more with those guys out.
Okay. I agree. Offensive player of the year. Good segue because CMC is your odds-on favorite right now, plus 175. Tyreek's plus 300. Jefferson's plus 950. By the way, these are straight Vegas odds that I'm reading you, not DraftKings or FanDuel or anything like that. Jefferson's obviously that would just never happen. I'm picking CMC, best player on the best. Well, at least going into this week, best team for sure. So I'm taking CMC in this deal with Tyreek as a close second.
I'm gonna take Tyreek.
Of course you are.
Yeah, FanDuel odds right now: Tyreek plus 150, Christian McCaffrey plus 230, and then everyone else 1,000 points worse or more than that. So I think it is a two-man race between those two at this point.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
And now from
DPOY.
a two-man race to a three-man race.
Exactly. Parsons, Garrett, and Watt. How does FanDuel have it? In that order too?
Parsons 240, Watt 270, Garrett 300.
Okay. I'm taking Myles Garrett right now. I'm not going to lie. That's going to be my pick this season where to end today. He has more sacks and QB hits. I know that's not the only thing you base this award off of, but he has more sacks and QB hits, which means he's pressuring quarterback, getting out there a little more than Michael Parsons right now. And plus just the factor that the Browns D as a whole just looks absolutely ferocious. So I think that helps out his case as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna change mine. I'm gonna give Garrett the slight nod to over TJ Watt. I think those two, you can see how they affect their teams more than
Right.
Parsons this year at this point. And I think Watt is actually at the point he might be a little underrated now. So
Yeah.
I'm going opposite of odds. Garrett, Watt, Parsons is my order.
Okay. Offensive rookie of the year. This is what we were getting at earlier. It's obviously Stroud. You're picking him too, I imagine.
Yeah, at this moment, I think there's still an off chance for Bijan or Puka,
Bijan
but
or Puka, yeah. Um, I just feel like rookie of the year, at least offense, obviously is kind of like MVP, where if there's a good quarterback, it's going to go to the quarterback. Um,
yeah.
I would have to, look at past winners to see if historically that matches up, but I'm pretty sure that's how they usually vote it. Defensive rookie of the year. This one I feel like is another obvious one to me. I'm taking Jalen Carter. He's top 10 in the entire league at his position for basically most stats. So
Yes, I agree. I think again another crafty pick, another amazing draft pick by the Seahawks. I think Devin Witherspoon is creeping a
he's a
little
sniff,
bit
dude.
into this. Um, I think he's creeping a little bit closer to Carter here in this race, but yeah, right now it's definitely Jalen Carter's race to lose.
Especially after these last 2 weeks that Witherspoon has had. He's been going crazy these last 2 weeks. Comeback player of the year, I will stick to DeMar Hamlin all year. I probably won't change my pick. I do think if Tua were to stay healthy all season, it would be Tua as well. I think those are your main two guys in the mix. I don't really see that changing throughout the season.
Probably going to be DeMar again, as I've said before the season too. Tua is definitely in the conversation, but if Tua stays healthy the whole year, I think there's a good chance he's MVP, and he's
He's
probably
just
going to win
MVP.
both those
Yeah,
awards. Yeah.
yeah, no doubt about it. Coach of the year, right now I'm giving it
Who are you
to,
picking? One of two options.
and now you apparently can summon balloons whenever you want on
Yep.
your side of the screen. You
Hearts,
can summon hearts.
hearts,
There it
and
is.
balloons.
YouTube exclusive, y'all. Y'all got to really come
Hearts
to
and
watch this
balloons,
because I
baby.
don't
Let's go.
understand that.
Yeah. Hearts and
I don't know how Spinny
balloons.
just summons all these things on screen. This just blows my mind.
I'm a magician, baby. Let's
Uh,
go.
so you're saying it's a two-man race? Is that what you're getting at with the
Yeah.
two?
And I'm picking the opposite of who you're picking, I think.
Because I'm picking Dan Campbell.
And I'm picking my man, Mike, in Miami. Miami Mike winning
That is your
Coach of the
man's.
Year.
Yeah, that is your man's.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just think I don't know. I feel like 5-1 for the Lions. No one really saw
Yeah,
that. I feel like
true.
they
You're right.
always
You're
give it to
right.
the team that like really blew out expectations. Like the Giants, like Dayball won it last year. You know what I mean? Like I don't
I
know.
just think there's also a chance that Miami's the 1 seed in the AFC or the 2 seed. And I think if that type of stuff happens, who knows?
Right. But that's what we're also talking about with the Lions though too, because they're
True,
five and
true,
one,
true,
same
true.
record, same record now as the Eagles and 49ers as well. So that's that's freaking crazy to even think about. If you would have told me preseason after 6 weeks that the Lions would be tied for the 1 seed right now, I would not believe you.
Nope, same.
There it is, y'all. Those are the awards. That's what we got right now for season we're end today. It's definitely something to keep following. But as Spinny was saying, it's pretty much a 2 or 3 man race in most of these awards, and you can kind of
Uh,
expect these guys to be in it till the end, health permitting.
well, and obviously, yeah, I was just gonna say, obviously, there probably is an injury here to come. Before we get moved on, I just wanted to ask you a couple prop bet questions. Who
Let's
do you
hear
think
it.
is the best odds to lead the league in passing touchdowns? FanDuel
Right,
Sportsbook use here.
best odds.
Yep.
I'll just stick with Tua, but I'm assuming. I feel like if you're asking me this, it's got to be some
It is Josh
Kirk.
Allen. It is Josh Allen plus 300. And then second is tied between Pat Mahomes and Kirk Cousins plus 450. Tua is plus 600.
Kirk
Fourth.
is killing it in the stats right now, dude. He's up there in both yards and touchdowns.
How about receiving yards?
Receiving yards. Dude, this is that's just wrong if Tyreek's not one. That's just wrong.
Tyreek is one, definitely. Best regular season record.
This one might get interesting now, especially
Mm-hmm.
Wonder if that's adjusted today
It
following what
is
we saw.
adjusted
It
today.
is. It is. Okay. Best record. I think I'm still sticking to the Niners.
Niners still won plus
Okay.
260. Chiefs 2 plus 310. Eagles 3 plus 600. Miami 4 plus 650. And the Lions 5th plus 750. Then it over doubles for the next team after that.
So power rankings, Lions are literally a top 5 team right now, aren't they?
According to
They're one of the
DraftKings win
five
totals,
and one
yeah.
teams. So yeah.
Yep.
Wow. That's unreal.
Unreal.
How about rushing yards? You see a rushing yards one? I want to try to think of that.
Nope. There was no
Okay.
rushing yards one, sorry.
All right. Fair enough.
Okay, now we're done with week 6. Goodbye. See you later. Time for me to clean up again on bus in week 7.
Clean up, man. You did not clean up on me this past week. Neither of us did, actually. Not gonna lie. We're still tied. We stay tied. We're 9-5 this week, both of us, heading into tonight's matchup, Chargers versus Cowboys, and we both took the Chargers. So we will stay
That was
tied
a
no matter.
terrible decision by us.
We will stay tied no matter what. Spinny, though, I'm telling you, man, we're killing it so far. We are 39-21. It's pretty
Not
damn good, I
bad.
feel like. Yeah, that's pretty damn good. All right, here we go. Week 7. Pick 'em. Thursday night football. We got the Jaguars visiting the Saints. Saints, 3-point favorites. I'm taking your road Jaguars. I'm imagining that's what you're taking as well.
You're gonna make me pick against my squad, aren't you?
You're not picking the Saints. Just, like, you can differ somewhere else, man. I know this is your squad. You're going to be
This
picking
is
the
my
Saints.
squad, and I want to root for them, but I just gotta go for the comeback against you with the home team favored. I'm gonna take the Saints at home.
It's wild that you said that, man. I hope the Jags just kill them so I can rub it
Me
in your face.
too. Me too.
Browns visiting the Colts. Browns 2-point favorites. This is tough for me. I don't know what the hell is going on with Deshaun Watson. Apparently, he was medically cleared 2 weeks ago, and he still hasn't played the last 2 games. So I don't know what is going on in Cleveland in terms of that. I'm still going to take them because, as we just saw, they're capable of beating even good teams without Deshaun Watson just because of that defense. I think that defense is going to give Gardner Minshew a lot of trouble next week. So I'm taking the Browns.
Yeah, I'm taking the Browns. I don't want to see Minshew against that D.
Yeah, that's going to be rough. Bills at Patriots. Bills 8.5-point favorites. I'm taking the Bills. The Pats have just looked too atrocious to me.
Yeah, Pats are considered one of the worst teams in the league. I think this could be an upset considering it's at Foxborough, but I'm gonna take the Bills.
Yeah, that plus 8.5 for the Pats could maybe be a little sneaky after what we saw
Yep.
the Bills do against the Giants this week. So Commanders at Giants, divisional matchup here. Washington 2-point favorites on the road. I'm taking the Giants. They right the ship. They get their second win of the season.
Commanders, Sam Howell we trust. Let's get it.
I hope you're right, actually. Lions at Ravens. This could be a great game.
Pick
Baltimore
against
is
my boys, man. Pick against them. Let's go. Pick against them. Come on. Pick the
Three-point
Lions.
favorites for
Pick
the
the
Ravens.
Lions. I dare you to pick the Lions.
This is
Pick
where
them.
Lions streak ends. The Ravens
Oh,
getting this
come
win.
on.
I'm taking the home team here. The Ravens getting the dub.
Taking the Ravens. They're my squad. Come on.
Well, you need to pick a squad also, damn it. You can't have the Jags and the Ravens as 2 AFC teams. Come on, at least pick one
True.
from each.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, it's the Vikings, obviously, for NFC, so that doesn't really count.
Yeah.
I'll let you have 2 AFC teams. That's fine. That actually makes sense.
Just for my takes this year.
All right. Well, I already know what you're saying for this one. The Raiders at the Bears. Raiders 3-point favorites. Go ahead and say it.
The Raiders for the win. Like we said, we're living and dying by the silver and black this year. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm taking them too. I'm taking them too. Get this though. These dudes will be 4-3 if they win this. 4-3 the Raiders.
Little scared, obviously, with no Jimmy G, probably at least this week.
Right.
Talk that his back
Brian
injury.
Hoyer, I think they're rolling out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk that his back injuries aren't as bad. as they thought, so it could only be a week or two type situation, which is good for them. But yeah, Brian Hoyer definitely not ideal looks for futures.
Falcons at Bucks. Bucks 2.5 point favorites at home. They lost half a point. That's a little interesting. I'm taking Bucks though. I think they bounced back after their loss this week. They were at home this week against the Lions. They got obliterated. They only put up 6 points. I think they're going to bounce back, having 2 home games in a row.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Bucks as well. I think Baker is slightly grittier than Desmond Ritter. I think they're both on the skill level range the same, but I'm gonna take Baker's grit. I
What
think the teams are
quarterbacks, man?
equal.
What quarterbacks are we freaking watching this week? By the way, we have Brian Hoyer versus can't even pronounce his name. Whatever the backup to Justin Fields is, most likely, because Fields apparently can't grip a ball right now. You got those quarterbacks. Like, holy moly! You look around the league, man. There's a lot of bad quarterbacks this year. There really is. Going into the next matchup, Kenny Pickett travels, and the Steelers travel to LA to face the Rams. 3-point favorites for the Rams. I'll let you pick this one first.
I hate the Steelers this year, so I'm gonna pick the Rams, even though there'll be more terrible towels in that stadium than Rams fans. But I'm gonna pick the Rams.
Damn it! I thought you were gonna pick the Steelers. I'm totally with you, man. They look gross this year. The Steelers.
They're gonna
so far.
win 9 games, though. They are. They're gonna
they'll find a
sneak
way.
it out.
Oh,
Ugly as crap, but I don't like them. Cardinals, Seahawks.
I'm taking Seahawks, 8-point favorites at home. That's such a tough place to play. No way Josh Dobbs can get that done. At least I don't think so.
Yeah, you're right. I think the Seahawks are actually pretty good too.
Yeah, I agree. 4-2 they could be. Speaking of another team though that could be 4-3 with a winning record, be the Rams. A lot of people wrote them off to start the season too. Packers visiting the Broncos. Packers 1-point favorites on the road. This one's really tough, actually. I'm gonna go with the Packers. I do not feel confident in that whatsoever.
I don't trust Jordan Love a mile high. We're gonna take the Broncos and my boy Dangerous getting the dub.
Broncos country, let's ride.
Let's ride.
Chargers at the Chiefs, another good one here, divisional matchup. Chiefs 5.5-point favorites. I kind of reamed the Chiefs a little earlier for not looking too good this week.
Yeah.
Not looking good on offense, actually, really, all season for that matter.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm still taking the Chiefs at home, man, in Arrowhead. I don't know if Justin Herbert can go beat Pat Mahomes. Herbert's been balling out, though. I'll give him that. I will give that. Are you taking
Chiefs
the
over
Chiefs?
Chargers. Chiefs over Chargers. Too easy.
Game of the week this week, Sunday Night Football. We got the Dolphins visiting the Eagles. This is about to be a really lit game.
Eagles you get to pick this one first, though.
Eagles 1.5-point favorites at home. I am taking the Dolphins, 100%. The
Eagles then. Eagles are winning.
Did you have to change that pick? I feel like you're actually taking the Eagles, no matter what. Wow. I don't know, man. They just look all 6 games. They have not looked good. They've had ugly wins.
You're right.
This is their first dominant win.
I think the Eagles are going to make this an ugly game. And I think if it is ugly game and it's not a track meet, I think the Eagles have the best chance to win. They're going to slow it down. They're going to run the ball a lot. They're going to use their offensive line to dominate time possession. That's how they get it done. I think that's the formula to beat Miami. Fair. I mean, I don't think I'm speaking any too hot takes saying that, but I think that's the obvious formula.
Yeah, you're right. Fletcher Cox did return this week for the Eagles, so that's big for them. But something to watch and monitor for that game would be Jalen Carter. He didn't play this week. That's obviously big if he's not able to go again. Here we go, man. We got to play on Monday Night Football against the 49ers, who are coming off a loss. This is really scary to be 7-point underdogs at home are your 2-4 Vikings. I'm obviously taking the Niners in this game, even though I will clearly be rooting for the do it then.
I'm taking the Vikes. I'm taking the Vikes on the pod, baby.
Let's go.
Debo out, McCaffrey out. I don't know if that's for sure thing, but there's a chance of both of those things. I think without those two people and Purdy, We can make some stuff happen. The defense is going to be hard. If the Vikes are going to win, it's going to be this 19-14 or 7
Yeah.
14-12 type baloney. And we just do enough to get it done. You know how the Vikings are. It's going to be a 6-point game. It's going to be a 4 to 6 point game, and it's going to come down to the very end. One of the teams is going to have a shot to win. And I just think without their weapons and at home, we have a chance. So I had to go with it.
Let's go. Spinny actually picking a Minnesota team in a game they're clearly not favored in. This blows my mind. I don't think you've ever done that ever.
No.
On this
no.
or on the Al Travis show.
I have not, but I actually believe in it a little bit.
Yeah. No, those are fair reasons. So there it is, y'all. Those are our week 7 picks. We'll see if Spinny can finally take the lead. It's been close 2 weeks in a row being tied, man. Someone's got to take the lead, please. It's going to be me.
Niners favored by 7 at Minnesota.
That's what I'm saying.
Wild.
Yeah. Wild. Spinny, I do have Q&A for you, my guy. Actually, a little two-parter. Let's start with the quickest part. Record prediction for your Minnesota Timberwolves. Give it to me. 82 games.
49-33.
49-33, huh?
Yep.
I love it. We are at 44.5. So you're smashing over.
Yeah, I think it's going to be over 43.5. That's an over smash, I feel
44.5.
44.5. 45. 45, huh?
You need to win 45 games.
45-37. What was our record last year? It couldn't have been too much worse than 45-37. Yeah, I think the Wolves are going to be better this year. Ant's going to be better. We're going to get more games out of Karl-Anthony Towns, I think, for sure. And as long as there's health throughout the organization, I don't think that's too crazy for us to be close to the 50-game win range.
We won. Last year we won 42 games. 42-40.
Ooh. All right, I'm going to back it up a little bit then. We're going to go
last
47-35. 47-35. That is my final record prediction. 47-35.
Damn it, you literally stole mine, because that's exactly what I was going to do. Like you said, though, I think you would imagine Cat's playing more than like 20 games or whatever he played in the regular season last year, which would obviously drive our wins up a little bit. Fun fact, though, 45-plus wins in the Western Conference, only 4 teams did that last year. Suns, Kings, Grizzlies, Nuggets, only 4 teams with 45 or more wins.
Crazy, although I do think the West is a little worse than it was last year.
I agree. I do agree. By the way, Hard Heroes, this is a little – I'm throwing these Q&As out here because this is a little preview for our NBA preview, which we will be doing next week, because the NBA is finally back next week. Let's go. I'm so excited for the season. Timberwolves winning it all. No reaction from you from that?
That's so – you might as well say –
that is a hot take, right? Which is my second question. Give me a hot take for the NBA season, Spinny. Literally about whatever you want. Give me something.
San Antonio Spurs are making the playoffs. That's my hot take.
What?
The Spurs are making the playoffs this year.
Making the play-in, or actually one of the 8 teams?
They'll be the 8th seed. They will make the play-in and they will win. The Spurs will be in the offs.
You're backing this up. Next week, you will have them on your predictions, is what you're saying?
I will have them in the offs.
Just making sure you're not blowing smoke right now.
I might be. You have to tune in next week to find out, though.
Oh, okay. That's fair. So you're buying the Wemby hype, huh, from this preseason?
I am. Bro, I'm a buyer.
He's insane. I just don't get how someone can do that. The bring the ball up the court, full speed, coming off a pick and roll, hitting his dude with an in and out between the legs, taking one dribble, step back midi. That play, he looked so freaking smooth, and it reminded me of Kevin Durant. It was scary, but he's 7'5".
He looked like Kevin Durant on that play. Yeah. That was the only person I've ever seen resemble that type of move before.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, he can dunk from outside the charge circle apparently on Thomas Bryant's
A
head.
standing dunk too, like a standing dunk.
Yeah,
For those that didn't see the
and
play,
this
ridiculous.
is like Thomas Bryant's like probably 10 to 15th best center, and like we're talking about a real center, not some Joe Blow backup. Like Thomas Bryant's actually a solid NBA center. I feel like.
Yeah, I'd say he's mid tier, that 15th
Yeah.
range. Yeah, yeah. He's wild, man. That's actually kind of. I'm throwing two hot takes at you. Is that okay?
No, it's not. Sorry, pick one.
Really? You only want me to get one.
No, share them both. Come on.
Victor Wembanyama is your defensive player of the year this year.
That's pretty hot.
I think some crazy defensive performance and at least or an offensive too for that matter needs to happen for them to make the playoffs, like you said.
Yep. Agreed.
So I can't picture how he doesn't average at least 3 blocks a game. And I feel like if you are averaging that many blocks, you're almost guaranteed to be in the top 3 for sure, top 5 discussion. So I just feel like he's almost by default in the discussion already because I just can't picture him averaging less than 3 blocks a game. I mean, we saw what's his face? Why am I drawing a blank? Walker
Brooke
Kessler.
Lopez. Oh, Walker
No, I'm
Kessler.
talking about Walker Kessler as a rookie average over 2 blocks a game. He's sitting at about 2.2, 2.3. And this guy's longer, taller, has probably better instinct for the ball, even though Kessler is obviously an elite shot blocker. I just don't get it. I mean, he's averaging 3 blocks a game. Like I'm pretty guaranteed that's going to happen. And then you average
3 blocks. That's wild if that actually happens.
that is wild as a
That's
rookie
nutty.
too, let alone. And then you add in a steal and a half, over 4 stocks a game. You're going to be in contention. You are. So that's one
Agreed.
hot take. Another climber here. This is a playoff one. OKC will be a top 4 seed in the West this year. 4th seed, I'm going to get them at. The Thunder, baby. I'm not kidding you. I am
You're
not kidding you.
wild.
Not kidding you in the slightest.
That's like the hottest of the hot. That's you might as well be taking a bath down with old Satan down there. That's how hot that one is.
So here's the thing. They made the play-in last year, right?
Yeah.
They're already in this conversation. They didn't have a center on their roster. They have Chet Holmgren now. I expect him to be a stud. I really do. So I'm putting a lot of faith into Chet Holmgren. I understand this, and he needs to stay healthy. So you're right. It is a hot take, but you're adding that elite player plus the plethora of picks they have. If they are in the mix, they will be buyers at the deadline this year, and they'll be adding another piece or two. Maybe not big crazy names or anything, but valuable pieces to their rotation nonetheless. And I don't know. I'm just getting this year King vibes from the Thunder.
All right. I can respect it. I think the Kings have a better chance to be a top 4 seed
There's
than the
so
Thunder.
much parity in the West.
There is.
Like, as we saw, with 1 or 2 extra wins, you could go from the 8 seed to the 4 seed. So it is bold, but I think it's doable for Shai Gilgeous, first team All NBA last year. You got another year of Giddey and Jalen Williams. Like I said, Chet's in the mix. If they're buyers, that's the biggest thing. I think they're too young to get to the top 4 unless they become buyers at the trade deadline. And the other thing, too, is I just think their regular season team, they go hard. They actually care. They try. You know what I'm saying? They're going to go hard all 82 games. They're not like going to just coast like the damn Clippers do.
True. What do you think about Clippers getting Harden? You think that's going to finally happen?
I mean, Harden has said, I don't know if he'll actually play in games, but I don't know. He's showing up to practice and stuff, and he said he'll play, but it's just hard.
How hard is he going to play, though?
Exactly, and it's hard to imagine them not moving him in the next week or so, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, like, or as soon as possible.
Like, I mean,
there's no way he spends the whole year on the team, right? I just don't see that happening.
No, that for sure won't happen. It's going to be what, Terrence Mann, Norman Powell, and a pick or 2 or something would be the offer.
Yeah, which hasn't been according to reports, the offer has been 1 first-round pick, 1 pick swap, and expiring contracts.
Yeah, Powell's expiring. I know, so I'm assuming he's one of them.
Yeah.
But Batum or Morris, I bet they throw in
Yep.
one of their forwards. They're expiring too as well. I did see the holdup a lot of the times. It's Terrence Mann. The Clippers did not want to include Terrence Mann in that deal.
Obviously.
Kind of
I
blows my
would not
mind though
want it either.
that they want James
But
Harden
why? I think he
because he
fits
doesn't.
well.
This man leads leads the league in trade requests, bro, in history.
True,
He
but
doesn't.
this is a different situation because it's more of a 1 year deal. Like we just want to get 3 stars in one
That is
place.
true. He is an expiring deal as well. That is. I
Yeah.
forgot that he opted in. So that's a good
So
point.
that's why that's more of an opening, I think.
All right, y'all. That was the Luka Doncic episode. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Sorry we took a long layoff, 2 week layoff for y'all, but we back at it, and we got another one coming later this week. It's gonna be real special, y'all. Make sure you tune up for that. Spinny's just summoning things once again. Classic.
Yeah. The balloons for the 2 episodes in the week, and the hearts for the love to the hearties and hardos. Hug your friends and family, and get out of here. Bus just isn't cool enough to summon anything. Sorry, not sorry.
Peace out, y'all.